Well, how the heck are you, man? It is St. Patrick's Day after all. It is. It still is. Took a little break. Actually, took about a 3 hour break, but I'm back. So I just found this today at a new store in town called Ruby's Market. It's in Knappogue Castle. 12-year-old single malt. Although I've noticed their description on their website is slightly different from what it says on the bottle. It says single malt Irish, uh, single barrel release on their website, but on the bottle it actually says special barrel release. Either way, it is a 12-year-old single malt. I am going to read just a tad from the website, though. Our signature expression is an exceptional single malt made exclusively from malted barley, triple distilled, one batch at a time in traditional onion-shaped copper pot still. So it's a copper pot still Irish, not a column still. There is a difference, man. Look it up. The whiskey is then aged in bourbon oak casks for 12 years, so they get that single barrel bourbon oak flavor, the delicate distillation process, along with the moist and temperate climate yields distinctive flavor of this remarkable single malt. So the reason I picked this up is I haven't had Knappogue for a long time. A lot of it has been price, to be honest with you, but I just found this bottle for 43 and change. Let's just say 44, rounding up. I've seen it online anywhere between about 45 to 70. I've seen it in stores in my neck of the woods anywhere between 50 to 65. Yeah, to find it for 44 at this new store in town, I thought, wow, I'm gonna buy it. If it wasn't St. Patrick's Day, let's be honest, I probably would have passed it by. But not having I was at the end of my 21, my Bushmills 21, and I wasn't gonna buy another whiskey because I have other stuff here on hand. But to revisit this 12-year-old, I thought, gosh, I'm gonna do it. Oh yeah, that's nice. My memory of this whiskey is it wasn't the most distinctive single malt I'd ever had, but it was incredibly smooth. And having it again, and this may be slightly different from what I had a decade ago, since it would have been about the last time I had the Nepal, is very similar to that. It doesn't seem to be the most distinctive on the nose or on the taste. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but this is remarkably smooth and easy drinking. So I'm going to read a little bit from them to tell you what they get, and I'm going to tell you what I get. They tell you aromas are rich and biscuity with notes of peppery spice. I do get some of those biscuity notes. Yeah, I am feeling some of that peppery spice, but maybe not in a big way. Mellow. The taste is mellow and well balanced with bright, elegant fruitiness and mild spice. Yeah, I kind of feel that. The mild spice, you get the spice right at the very end. Mild fruit. Yeah, why not? And I'm going to tell you to give you, try to give you specific fruit flavors that they're looking for. I'm going to say I certainly feel some apple. More like a red delicious, so it's a sweeter apple, not a Granny Smith. A lot of things I'll get a more tart apple. In this particular, I'm getting that sweeter apple note. The spice is really is at the very end, in kind of in the form of, hold on a second, kind of like a mild clove. I'm going to say. Mm. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, again, the, it's funny you talk whiskey with folks, and they say, "Well, I'm a Scotch drinker, I'm a bourbon drinker, I'm a this drinker, I'm a that drinker." In my neck of the woods, it's harder to come across Irish drinkers, and here is my take on the whiskeys. Uh, Scotch is very distinctive. It has a very distinctive flavor. Most folks either like it or not. There are the various types of scotch that will give you different tastes. I am kind of generalizing. I understand that. Bourbon, in my opinion, is the boldest of the whiskeys. Rye or Canadian whiskeys gives you that spicy component. But in my opinion, there is no smoother whiskey than an Irish. Even if you're talking about more inexpensive Irish whiskeys with their similarly priced counterparts, I mean, Irish whiskey is just smooth. It may not be as distinctive as some, but it is smooth and mellow and easy drinking. So again, what whiskeys you like is going to depend on what you're looking for. Again, and I'm generalizing. There are some Irishes that really knock it out of the park distinctive wise. But as far as being smooth, being clean, being crisp, being drinkable, I mean, I don't think you can beat the Knappogue Castle, especially for $44 for a 12-year-old single malt. Especially when the last time I saw the Bush 10, it was about $50. I would personally, as I do like the Bush 10. It was the first single malt Irish I ever had, but I really think it ought to be between 35 to 40. For 44, I'm buying this every day of the week, twice on Sunday. Mm. So here's the thing: a 12-year-old single malt. I am going to drink that neat, right? It is a whiskey that I'd probably drink it solely neat, but I needed to try it once on the rocks, right? And just to see. Some others are going, "Why are you putting it on the rocks, man?" Now I've got some already poured neat, but I'm letting it sit, letting it rest while I'm drinking the rocks version, just so y'all know. I'm going to do it all in one video, man. And the more I've let this sit, the more sweetness I'm getting now. Before I was getting some of that apple. I'm also feeling some honey. I'm getting tinges of vanilla. I'm feeling more of the oak now, but more towards the finish. As far as fruit, again, I am feeling that apple, like I mentioned. I'm going to also say some pear. There are some whiskeys that I get, especially bolder whiskeys, especially some more longer aged bourbons or American whiskeys, that you may feel some dark fruit in. Not this one. This one I'm feeling more the lighter fruit in. Again, apple, pear, that kind of thing. For a 12-year-old, this thing is just absolutely gorgeous. So that was the end. That's all there is, man. That's the end. That's the end of the rock. So let's go to neat. Let's have some neat. So I got in my Jim Beam neat glass. Oh yeah. Okay. So really, I really need to drink the rest of this bottle neat because, well, I can already tell the difference on the nose. That's not necessarily a shock. Like I said, I just wanted to see how it was on the rocks one time. Very smooth and mellow. You certainly get those biscuity notes on the nose, like they talked about. Also the peppery spice, but I think they missed out a little bit. I'm also feeling a lot of vanilla, some toffee on the nose. Mellow and well balanced with bright, elegant fruitiness and mild spice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. It does all that. It really does. Okay. Here's what's funny though. Is I was telling you, I just made a special point to tell you it's apple. It's it's pear. It's lighter fruit, not darker fruit. But now I'm having it on the rocks, and I'm feeling it a different way. It's funny, or now I'm having it neat rather, and I'm feeling it a different way. Because right there, the first thing I noticed was date, but I didn't feel that at all. Not at all. Not even remotely when I had it on ice. So again, it is a bolder whiskey when you don't put a big frozen square cube of ice in it. But that's not necessarily wrong either. I guess the point I'm trying to make is don't knock either way. Both ways are fine. Depends on which way you want to drink it. The bottom line for me, I'm likely to drink the remainder of this bottle throughout the course of the year, or maybe even 2 years, I'm going to drink it neat. But I did need to see what it did on the rocks. Yeah, you do get that big biscuity flavor. Fruit. Yeah, it's funny is now that they mention that, I'm also feeling some citrus notes that I didn't notice. When I had it on the rocks, because then that will kind of dull it some. It did make it mellow though. It didn't really smooth it out, but it did dull some of the flavors and aromas. So you need to keep that in mind when you put things on ice. You are going to dull some of the flavors and aromas. You may bring out other flavors and aromas, obviously, which I got, but you are going to dull the major flavors and aromas. Mm. Yeah, but damn it. Yeah, I hope you all are having a good St. Patrick's Day. So it started. My wife and I had some breakfast. I made some bangers. I said that in another video. If you didn't watch it, you're hearing it for the first time. I had some Irish bangers that I picked up at Fresh Market in Rogers, Arkansas. Made some O'Brien potatoes. We have chicken, so I used our own fresh eggs, and I made breakfast. But then my wife and I went to the store, man. I did put a corned beef on the cook, though. I decided to do it this year, although many people choose to boil or slow simmer or toss in a crock pot. I chose to braise this year's. And I put it on I, I browned it on each side like typical braising method. Uh, Put it on top of some veg. I used onion, sweet potato, multicolored carrots. Let's see, onion, sweet potato, multicolored carrots, and potatoes. Then I put it on top. Cabbage. I had some cabbage in there too. And then I put some broth. Now, you can use Guinness or whatever beer, your beer of choice. I don't do that, or I didn't do that this time, because my wife is very sensitive to alcohol. She has issues with that. So, which otherwise I probably would have Guinness braised it. So for those of you that say, Tom, you should have Guinness braised it. That's why I didn't, man. But I did use it as a home stock that I made, and I used that anyway. But I do like the braising method. I'm not knocking the other methods, but braising gives you a different kind of flavor, gives you a different kind of tenderness. It's very nice, man. Mm. So there you go. Knappogue Castle 12-year-old single malt. It's a damn fine whiskey. It really is. I mean, it's just tasty. And I can't believe that I found this thing for only $44. It was for like 43.61. I mean, something outrageous. Wow, I am pleased. I'm happy. I'm gonna tuck it away. I probably won't even bring it out again. This is St. Patrick's Day. I'll probably well, I've got a thing coming up in a couple of weeks. Anthony Gomes is coming back to town, so I may have a shot for that concert. But after that, I'll probably tuck it away till my birthday in May. So there you go. Hey, I am. You don't give a rat's ass, do you? I am Johnny Beer Whisperer, man. Today I'm the Whiskey Whisperer. It is St. Patrick's Day, so I hope you're having a good one. Drink on and drink well, man.